Well, this is it, the moment we've all been waiting for. The lights are up, the furniture's out, and all the finishes are in place. We are ready for the client to come on in that door, and it feels so good. I'm Anne-Marie Barton for the reveal. Here we are in beautiful Deer Valley, Utah. The ski slope is just right on the other side of the home. It's a ski in, ski out vacation home. I had to think to myself, how would I like to live in this place? I'm hoping you'll see what makes me feel good, and I think it makes the client feel good too. Come on in. As you can see, another point of curiosity is this massive front door. It's a pivot door, which means it opens 1/3 of the way in, leaving this large space and openness. But it's also a modern touch. You can't tell how to open the door, so you just logically push. It's a beautiful plate, custom made, very interesting. And then once you're in the space, this is one of my favorite focal points in the house. I love this metal art and especially this light fixture, which I hope you all recognize. I know I've used it a lot this year because I am in love with apparatus. First things first, it's all about the view. Right from the front door, you're delivered to what is outside. And these doors open forever. You can see there are all of these sliding doors that just allow you to have this very open style indoor-outdoor living experience. You want to come out this way and see all of the trees. It's the perfect time of year because all of the leaves are changing. This is why they built on this particular lot, so they can go skiing right from the house and gravitate to this beautiful view. This is not their summer home per se. They live in Florida, but they will be wanting to come here this time of year, skiing and summer. It's gorgeous. Our focus was really primarily on the materiality that we would be using, and most of all, what we would be touching. You can see all of the surfaces are very soft to the touch, very tactile. Even the metalwork that I chose to do behind the fireplace, you can see all of that undulating metal that really adds energy and texture, which I'm always looking for. Now, we have a lot of new things in our spaces, but I'm always careful to intermix some things that are old, that have a little bit of history. I think that's what grounds us in the spaces we live in. Even the old pottery, the beautiful crystal. I'm always looking for a myriad of objects wherever I travel, and I travel a lot. I am collecting. Now, about the sofa, it definitely had to deliver this cozy hangout atmosphere vibe. When I first meet the client, I'm always trying to collect ideas and an understanding of the way they might live in a house. I don't just meet them, I listen to them. The husband and wife, the way they talk to one another, what they wear, how they feel about organization and order, whether they can handle my kind of organic style of living. And I think in this house, they went as organic as they could go. But this is intended to be a very relaxed and informal setting. But you can see the collection of goods, even down to the chase lounge, meant to be very informal, very comfortable. We want to have rich textures, and we want to combine them in a way that just talks to one another, and what I call the mix. Another story you'll find in this particular home is artisan mastery. It's almost as if you can feel the handmade nature of the items that I've designed and created, such as this beautiful coat closet. And rather than having a typical framed cabinetry item here, I wanted to design something that contributed to the space around. Of course, I wanted to divide the space into art and function. You can see we trimmed this in the brass material, always keeping that really beautiful thin blade. And I was able to find this sculpture the very day of the move-in. I'm not kidding, lucky me. But you can see the details. This is what we filled the house with, and the client was willing. It seemed like anything I could think of, we were able to make and fabricate. You can see this wonderful wine cabinet. Just as you walk in the front door, it actually contributes to the experience, and it does set a tone of entertaining. As you look inside, you can see the custom pegs we used to hold the bottles, and then we bushmilled travertine for the back of the entire cabinet. These custom cabinets here with the beautiful brass, the soft close, soft open, just a lot of detail. And I think that's what we celebrate in this home. It's actually hard to put into words what it feels like to be in a space like this that's so open one to another and yet so warm. And it's warmed by this beautiful wood ceiling that covers the entire space and really unifies the great room, the kitchen, the dining, and the keeping room. After that, we're looking for other uniquisms. Well, I didn't use the typical hood. Instead, I went with a vented hood that did not need to be that close to the range top. That's unusual, but it works. I decided to fabricate brass all around this ceiling area for interest in detail. But then I had to sneak a little storage, and I made basically a medicine cabinet for your spices. The most interesting thing about this is the pit. This is a range top, and you can arrange these anywhere you want in your kitchen. The knobs can go wherever you want. And what the beauty of it is you don't have to clean all of that metal work that typically is under the eyes on the range. The refrigeration has to be close at hand. These are two large 36-inch fridges, but also we created a party bar in this area with refrigeration drawers for easy access, really close to the hearth room. And then we have what we call the ever-present butler's pantry. This is where we can call it a dirty kitchen, but usually they look really cool and you don't want to keep them dirty. But this is where you could cater out of or make more of a mess. Still a sink, one single burner, open shelving where I imagine they'll put their dishware. The cool factor in this space is this wonderful detail all along this countertop. You can see we just dropped the countertop in, leaving the slab as the beautiful edge leading into the integrated sink. This entire kitchen is made of walnut, but we wanted to keep it interesting so you can see the rhythm of this reeded wood front, still out of that warm walnut. And here is the bocce plug. I'm guessing you can hardly see it because it's flush with the stone. This is amazing. We can also paint on it to resemble the stone. Also wanted to point out what we call the waterfall, but actually we don't go all the way to the ground. I'm just always looking for a different way to add a surprise, an element of curiosity. Most people would take this all the way to the floor. Another thing that I chose to do different than my other homes is not have pendants as expected over the kitchen island. Instead, I went for a multitude of pendants, which are again by apparatus, and they hang just beautifully. We were able to arrange them in the way that we liked ahead of time, and they were easy to install. But they add this glamorous effect while still staying organic and natural in vibes. The island top. Well, I don't love eating on stone, which is exactly why we eat on wood dining tables. So I decided we would just mount the bar top right on the slab itself. And this way the bar stools are a little offset from the main island, but we're able to be a part of the action. Adding to the organic feel of this kitchen are these gorgeous bar stools, again with the metal and the crisscross energy of the leather. Adjacent to the kitchen is the dining room, and it's perched within glass and views everywhere. Instead of a typical chandelier, we went with what we call a stick fixture. This dining table is made for 12 people and sometimes even 14. The way we did that is a wide enough table where we can put 2 on the ends. This table is custom made, and you can see the beautiful brass that we laid the wood on. I like to have the metal accept the wood, or the stone be accepted by the steel or the brass. To me, that shows a finishing touch. Okay, a fireplace is a must. Look at the shape of this. I love how it's not stone again, like the other fireplace. We went more with steel, a little more artisan in nature. Rather than using logs or the charcoal balls, I wanted to go with the basalt rock and let that flame just look like it's coming up and out of nowhere. This is the hearth room. I call it a keeping room. You might call it a study, but this is where the games happen and I relax because I don't love puzzles. We can eat and spread out the pizza, and you still get to enjoy the beautiful outdoors. I think every family loves a booth. You can fit a lot of people in, and it's cozy and it says fun. I wanted this wall to really be impactful. Something unusual here with all of this burly wool and the braiding of all that natural material above just gets me. This art was made particularly for this spot as a companion to this piece. We didn't want to overshadow. We wanted this to be the focal point. And the rug. This is made by the same artisan that did the wall hanging. Very natural grouping of hides. It's soft and it says relax. Now let's take a bigger look at the outdoors. We start with a dining area heated by these wonderful infrared lights. These are 36 inches round and they cover heating you from about 8 feet and below. I love the way they look versus the heaters in the ceiling. And as you go this direction, we've got more of a fire pit situation, but again, it's all about the views. What makes this a ski in, ski out is that the trail is right next to the house. As soon as you hop off the trail, you're greeted by a large spool for 20 people to hang out and jacuzzi in. We do call it a spool, which is of course the mix. We also have a fire table where everyone can have lunch with a fire in between. These are all the little necessities when you're entertaining a big family reunion. As you go downstairs, you'll see our other spool, which is even larger, and then there'll be the master. These folks liked water elements, and they wanted to bring in that atmosphere for when it's snowing out here. I find that when I begin a home, I search for the colors that I want to ooze into the space. In this one, I wanted it a little different. I was actually influenced by this very pillow and the blushy tones that it exudes. And you can also see this carpet still with a little bit of a blush tone, nutmeg coming through. Now let me show you the primary bedroom, right off the great room. This beautiful view that when this door is cast open, it actually contributes right when you walk in the front door. Here is the Chase Lounge, again echoing this beautiful pink tone. And then look, we're in a beautiful tree house with a stone fireplace and a bed with a plaster wall behind it. The idea is to feel cozy, warm. You can see how I've used one pendant and the other is a lamp. This art contributes once again to this dirty blush tone, and so does the pillow and the other art piece. It's a careful curation, but when I get to a home, I bring in all the art that we've created, and then I decide exactly where I'm going to put them. I leave it a little bit up to chance. We decided we would leave this open so that you could actually partake of all of the glass and the view. So in order to do that, we had to have a gorgeous closet. This is the primary closet. You can see this gorgeous soft wood everywhere. This countertop with this very minimal beveled edge. There are details here that do not compete, however, with the beauty outdoors. Here is the most stunning part of the bathroom and the closet. We have yet another water feature. This is the outdoor jacuzzi with limestone trim. You can sit here and look out to the beauty beyond. Adjacent to the outdoor tub is the indoor tub. This is made of all quartzite inside and around. It's meant to emulate a Japanese soaking tub. And we put the drapes in just in case we need a little stroke of privacy. Speaking of privacy, we created what we do call a privacy screen. This way, while we're in the big open shower, we can also be a little bit hidden in case this very big openness is a problem. In the shower, we did quite a mix. We have a seat, slab material going the whole way, tile that has a texture, a ribbing to it. Adjacent to the shower, we have the vanities. One thing you'll never know, we hid a washer and dryer in this closet. I mean, every inch was utilized. Now, the double vanities. We've got a his and a hers, and this is where she does her makeup. We wanted it to all stay the same height, so we use a counter stool versus a chair. That's a little trick. You can see how we beveled the countertop, and here we did a raised sink. It's still integrated, but I loved seeing this little edge of slab material. Now I want to show you how the elevator works here. I think it's unique. Rather than a door to open, we have these 3 panels just sliding. Oh my gosh, we've come a long way with elevators. Let's go down the hall, and again, notice all of the plaster on the walls, on the ceiling. We did a coffer all the way down the hall with inadvertent, indirect lighting, allowing for these long, beautiful apparatus pendants to do the talking. As we go down, we are delivered in the ski room. Oh my gosh, check out the light fixture. This ski room, I think it houses 25 skis, poles, and boots. We have heat warmers in the bottom and hooks on the front and inside. It's been highly detailed to allow for a family ski day beyond measure. Upstairs, we have the office. Now, there are a couple of surprises in this office I want to share with you. One, I bet you'll never guess where the bed is. Look at the space, the grandeur, the beauty, the texture. Here's the bed. This is a Murphy bed. The art is attached to the wood panel. The chairs move swiftly out of the way, and we pull down the bed in case we don't have enough room in the house. You can see the artifacts here, the old pots, this unique sculpture. My thought is I better get them when I see them. It's pretty hard to go shopping for these kinds of things, so I collect along the way. It's these long halls that act as the vertebrae to these homes, giving you bridges and also a beautiful alignment from one end to the other. Now let's go downstairs and I'll show you the rec room and the bunk rooms. I liked the idea of leaving the elevator exposed. It's kind of industrial to see all of the workings. This is all adjacent to the rec room. We have a lot of fun down here with the billiard, but it's all about getting cozy in this large sectional. I balanced this room out by having weight on the back wall and the TV wall. This is kind of special. It was an idea to frame the collage. On this wall, you can see I had to use a television. So to make it look good, we made something very interesting happen with the actual opening to the fireplace. That's beveled steel bringing us in to the opening of the actual firebox. Now, the light fixture here above the pool table, I love how asymmetrical it feels. I'm personally in love with asymmetry because it requires a little curiosity. It enables us to think outside of the box rather than straight down the middle. Over here you can see another touch of artisan. I have never seen a good-looking pool cue holder, so I decided I would design one and enhance this whole entire wall, creating a focal point as you come down the stairs and obviously housing the pool cues beautifully. Now let's go see the bunk room. If there's anything that goes together, it's a ski lodge and a bunk room. And this one houses 12 adults, or a multitude of children. You can see the design was inherently very open with these double beds, lots of space. We designed stairs that go up. We mounted steel here just to protect the corners, and then we have the storage underneath. This is one area where I loved having carpet. It just feels good in the space. The theme continues with all of this white oak, plain sawn wood with integration of steel to put books and of course room to play Xbox. These chairs are perfect for lounging in the space, and again, it's all about the views. I'll show you the bathroom. I think I love the demonstrative nature of the countertop and the huge trough sink that's integrated with a linear drain. I love the mirror and the fact that it's got the open space and the rounding and the niches. Oh my gosh. And then I love the reading. All of these attributes make it a very special space filled with 2 showers and 2 toilet rooms. They mean business here. It will handle a multitude. And here is the beautiful niche I'd love for you to look at. You can see how we use the rib tile and then the wedge on the niche itself with that angle in. I'm always looking for a way to add just a little bit of detail, which makes all the difference. This home actually has 2 bunk rooms and 2 glorious suites. This is one where I wanted to feel a sense of moodiness. I went with a much darker plaster and a wall covering that exuded a lot of texture and energy. Also, you'll see some found objects in this space. I had been looking for a special object to put on this really unconventional bedside table. I love the shapes and the textures of this waxed material. This space was interesting to design because I had to fit the fireplace. I had to figure out how to get into the bathroom in kind of a sneaky way so that I could allow the light from the bathroom to still come into the bedroom itself. We're no longer using barn doors. Instead, I've kind of created a new term called an exposed pocket door. So we see the door, it's not hidden as a regular pocket, and it's not created with an exposed track. It's all hidden up in the wall itself. Now going into the bathroom. So here's the trick. We want the light, but we need the mirrors. We want the glass, we want the views. So what do? We hang the mirrors in front of the windows, and then when we need a little bit of privacy, we just put the shade down. I love the way these sinks are integrated, and I chose to put the faucetry on the sides rather than the expected back. What makes this integrated sink special is how the slab continues with the veining all throughout the sink itself. Another special thing in this bathroom is it leads to an outdoor shower. And of course, we needed one. Thanks for joining me. I wanted to share this with you. It's the humanness of design that I try to create. Overall, it's how you feel in a space. I'm Anne Marie Barton for The Reveal.